How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the United States government ordering that the Chinese consulate in Houston, Texas be closed within 72 hours. So from right now today, which is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020, 72 hours or less at this particular point in time, they got to be up and out of the consulate, shut the whole thing down. Now, there is a lot to actually, quote unquote, unpack here, as the cool kids would say. But first, let's talk about what happened yesterday that kind of set all these events into motion, in my humble opinion. Now, fire and police were called to the consulate last night, I think after 8 p.m. local time, because of a fire in the consulate. Now, some news reports said that the fire was inside the consulate. Some said that it was outside. Both of those things are kind of true at the same time, and I'll explain. There's a courtyard within the complex of the consulate. In order for you to get to the courtyard, you got to go through the consulate, basically. But the courtyard is outside. Now, in this courtyard, there was at least one guy who was burning documents in plastic bins. I mean, so many documents, and there was so much smoke and flame that you could see it. It was visible black cloud of smoke. And that's why the fire department got called, because of all the smoke. Neighbors are like, okay, is the consulate on fire? What's really going on? The consulate was not on fire. If I'm not mistaken, what was going on that I know for 100% sure, and I'll place video on the screen before you, is that they were burning up documents from within the consulate. Now, my question is, why are they burning up documents? Surely they own a paper shredder and they could just dispose of documents that way. If it's sensitive information or whatever, why are they burning documents? Did they get a tip that the U.S. government was watching them, that they were going to order them to leave, that they were going to raid the consulate? Why were they out there burning documents? Obviously, something's going on that shouldn't be. I've never heard of a consulate just, burn up documents in the U.S. Maybe it happens overseas in different parts of the world, but in the United States, burning up documents, what's really going on? So that was yesterday, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. The United States government said you guys got 72 hours to vacate the premises. Now, the Chinese government has vowed retaliation against us for this. I'm not really sure what that means. It could be kind of a tit for tat thing, similar to what happened when we expelled Russian diplomats from the U.S. They expelled United States citizens from Russia. It was just, okay, you're going to do that. We'll do the same thing over here. That could be what's going on, but I'm not really sure. I mean, with China, you never know what they're going to do. And you never know what they have done. I mean, we're talking about the virus. We all know that they did not allow inter-country travel from Wuhan when the virus started, but they did allow international travel. So, I mean, a valid question would be, why did they allow international travel when they knew the virus was going on from the epicenter of the virus, but they did not allow it in between cities in their own country? Okay, so they want to protect their own people, but not us. Was that done deliberately to spread the virus? What's really going on? Is it a bioweapon? I don't have those answers. I'm not over in China. I'm not a spy. I have no idea. But I mean, that's a valid question just from a logical point of view. If they were trying to attack the whole world, that'd be how you do it right there, by sending people that carry the virus all over the world through airplanes. But different story. I digress. My whole point is that I don't put anything past China. Okay, we know they spy. That's why they banned TikTok recently. I almost forgot about that one. They have banned or may ban TikTok coming up. I don't use that particular thing. I knew from the very beginning that TikTok would be compromised because they're owned by China. Like, the actual company is owned by China. And if you're giving this particular application data, where is that going? To the Chinese Communist Party. And they're going to analyze it. They're going to be doing spying through this particular thing. I mean, we're filming ourselves in our homes, our neighborhoods, everything. They're checking infrastructure and whatnot through TikTok. So I would not be surprised if that were a part of their whole spying platform. And speaking of spying, that's what I'm hearing from watching news, reading news from government officials. They're saying that the Houston consulate for China was a big time spying operation. All right, that's what it's for. Now, in case you don't know what a consulate is, basically, it's similar to an embassy. An embassy is where, like, let's say you go to, I don't know, United Arab Emirates, and there's a U.S. embassy. You can go to the U.S. embassy to help with things that are in relation to the UAE. So let's say you get into some trouble over there, some legal trouble. You can go to the U.S. Embassy, see if you can get it sorted out, because once you go there, you could talk to people back in the United States or people that are in the U.S. there technically, because that's kind of like what an embassy is. Maybe get that straightened out. You could communicate with the government using the embassy in the other country. They represent the other country, but the consulate is similar to that, but they do a lot more things. We're talking about handing out visas. They can defend you in a legal case. They do a lot of different things that embassies don't do. So in this particular consulate, they're doing much more than an embassy could or should do. You're talking about spying, allegedly. That's what's going on. And that's probably why they're burning up documents, because think about it like this. If they're doing any kind of spying, any kind of intelligence gathering that they shouldn't be doing, what's going to be in those documents? You know, you're going to have financial records, names, addresses, all kind of evidence that could be used against them in an international court. And that could be something that is used against them to impose sanctions upon China. So it's really, really deep in detail. And it's kind of weird, again, that they would burn documents, because everything nowadays is digital. Everything, all the documents, all the records are going to be digital. So if they have paper records, the question is why? Do they not want to have a digital trail that could be hacked to expose what's going on? Because the Chinese, they know all about hacking. That's one of the main things they do. There's a big part of the military that engages in hacking, that engages in intelligence gathering, that engages in spying. So they understand when you have a digital footprint, it could get hacked, therefore compromised. And you could just dump all the information right on the internet ASAP. That's what WikiLeaks does. So the paper record could be an attempt to prevent that from being out there in the world. Okay. And that's probably why they burned it. So I'm not sure what's going to be the next course of action. I think that we should take a look at other Chinese consulates, maybe even the embassy in Washington, to figure out what's going on there. Because if you had spying and other nefarious activities happening in Houston, Texas, what's going on all over the country? I think there's 3 other consulates and then the embassy in Washington from China that exist in America. Not sure where they're located. Probably New York, maybe somewhere on the left coast, like, I don't know, San Francisco, Los Angeles. I don't really know where the other ones are. Whatever the case may be, we got to keep a strong eye on them, because that Chinese spying is a really big deal. You know, Huawei compromise, TikTok compromise. If you got a big concentration of Chinese officials over here in the U.S., then you could pretty much guarantee that they're going to be engaging in spying. Okay. They do a lot of other things over here and in their country, aside from the spying. You're talking about the Uyghurs in the Muslim concentration camp. You're talking about the general intellectual property theft, the debt trap things all over the world, not just in America, but all over the world. Taking advantage of small countries, talking about, hey, we'll give you a railroad, we'll give you a hospital, just give us this thing over here. And if you can't pay, don't worry about it. We'll just take this as collateral until you can pay. They know you can't pay. It's a whole big thing that they do to try and virtually enslave countries, to try and kind of like, they're doing more than the Europeans ever did. People over in Africa talking about, hey, the Chinese are here, they're doing a great job, they want to be our friends. Meanwhile, all they're doing is much worse than the Europeans did. I tell the same story all the time. As I close, I'm going to tell it one more time. There's a particular country in Africa. I forget where it is. It might have been Uganda, Kenya, somewhere. Anyway, they were colonized at one point by a European nation. Now, when they were colonized by the European nation, there was a gold mine that they opened up. And in this gold mine, they gave African locals jobs. And it also had a pool by the mine or within the compound that they would allow the locals to swim in and have parties and just have fun. Now, when the Europeans left, the gold mine closed up for whatever the reason may be. When the Chinese come, they open the mine back up, but rather than giving African locals jobs, they brought their own workforce from China to work there. And rather than having any kind of pool, it was nothing. The local people got nothing. Maybe there was one guy that got a big bag of money, say, here, take that, but everybody else didn't benefit. Not only could they not actually work there, they couldn't even swim there. They couldn't benefit from this thing at all. Like I said, maybe one guy got a bag of money and that's it. from the outside, somebody may say, hey, they brought a gold mine there. They're bringing in money. But what money? They're taking all the money, all the resources, all the jobs, everything back to China, and they're giving back the least amount possible. If you're going to come and kind of like colonize or virtually colonize a place, at least give back. Don't just take. But the Chinese don't care about any of that. They're ruthless, cold-hearted. That's just what it is. You know, I don't mean the Chinese people in general. I'm talking about their government, the one-party system. All right. They say the Chinese aren't imperialists. I can't tell. Laughs in Tibet, laughs in Taiwanese, laughs in Hong Kongese, laughs in Macau. You know, come on. That's what they do. Everybody knows this by now, and if they don't, they should know. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that they were burning up documents in the courtyard of the consulate because they were trying to hide evidence of spying or any other nefarious activities? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or did it just happen to burn up documents and then get ordered to leave within 3 days because, I don't know, just spring cleaning, just, you know, trying to, and I'm talking about the smoke cloud was so high that the fire department got called. I thought the whole place was on fire. I don't think there's a casual fire like that rages to the point where the fire department get called if there's no real thing they're trying to hide. Obviously, they're trying to hide something. They had been suspected of spying. I think there was at least 2 people that got convicted on spying, 2 Chinese people that got convicted on spying in Houston, in that general area. So I'm thinking that they probably were affiliated with this consulate. It makes sense. If you're Chinese, you're a Chinese national, there's a consulate right there. You're going to be at the consulate for some reason to get your visa, to get this, to get that. You know, you're going to be there for some reason, and you get brought up on charges of spying and convicted. I mean, come on. Obviously, what's going on there shouldn't be going on there. And like I said earlier, hopefully this is not going on in other places, other consulates or the embassy in Washington. It probably is, though. And if it is, let's go ahead and get it tightened up right now. We don't have time for the spying. We are dealing with the virus. We are dealing with these crazy people talking about hands up, don't shoot, Black Lives Matter, all this and that and the third. We don't need any more issues on our plate. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.